Look at this. Oh, perfect.
My friend is coming over tonight and I'm gonna make her some dinner, so let's go to Trader Joe's and get some stuff for pasta night. Come, I'll be right back, I promise. She's so mad at me. As always, it's 5:30, like prime rush hour, and now I'm choosing to go to Trader Joe's. Like, why do I do this to myself? So busy. So close, but so far. We made it. As the lady was checking me out, I realized that I forgot something, but it was like too late to go back and grab it, so I just left. I should have gone back and grabbed it, but I did not. So here we are. Okay, got the goods. Just ignore this. Heat your oven to 400. Get your cherry tomatoes washed. This container is 16 ounces. Why am I doing it like this? That's so awkward. Add those to your baking dish. Gonna get them dried off a little bit. Peel 4 cloves of garlic. Hi, babe. Want to peel some garlic? No. Add those to the tray. A little olive oil, some salt, pepper, and a sprinkle of red chili flakes. That was a lot. Get that mixed together. And bake for 25 minutes. While those are cooking, I'm gonna get 2 shallots diced up. Once the tomatoes and garlic are done cooking, this recipe comes together in like 2 seconds, which is why I love it so much. And it's super helpful for tonight because I have a million things to get done before I fly out to San Francisco tomorrow. Well, flying to San Francisco and then going to Napa for my friend's bachelorette party. I don't know why March has been the busiest month ever. I feel like I've been home for like a day at a time and then I just leave again. Get your stove to medium heat. Add in some olive oil. Your shallots. And let those cook for about 5 minutes. This is the olive oil that I use, by the way. So excited. Add in 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. My friend Kathy just got here. Get that mixed in for about 3 minutes and cook that down. Hi, Kathy. Add in 3 tablespoons of vodka. Do the wine bottling opening honors. What? Wine bottling? Sure, here you go. It's literally taller than you are.
I'm on my toes.
Cheers. Again.
I'm good with this.
Cheers again. Look how small you are.
I'm on my toes too.
Am I really tall or is Kathy really short? And a pinch of red chili flakes. Okay, comment. Hi. Add your roasted tomatoes and garlic to a blender or NutriBowl it.
It's like elopements right now, man.
And blend. My dog likes Kathy more than she likes me, I swear. Add in a half cup of heavy whipping cream or half and half. I'm using cream. Ooh. Get that mixed in. Get your pasta cooking. Get your blended tomatoes added in with your sauce. Adjust with salt and pepper as needed. Whoopsie. Add in some reserved pasta water, some chopped basil. Get your pasta drained. And add in with your sauce.
nothing
Look
there.
at that. That is it. So excited. Top with some Parmesan cheese. That just went all over the floor. I completely missed my plate. And I also made some spinach salad, which I've posted this recipe a million times, but can't stop making it. And we're ready.
Looks
Like-
so good.
Thank you, darling. And mine. Okay, comment. Here's
I'm gonna show you guys what I do on a night when I don't want to cook, but I have chicken I need to use up. Preheat your oven to 350. Next, do my least favorite part, which is have to touch the chicken and put it all in a gallon bag. Put 1 egg in the bag. Smush this all up to get the egg all around the chicken. All right, for salt, black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, Italian seasoning, and a tiny bit of cayenne. Make sure you get the seasonings covering every piece. Next, pour in a ton of breadcrumbs. Make sure all the chicken is covered in the breadcrumbs. Grab your pan, cover it with foil, spray it with some oil, and then dump the chicken onto the pan. And you'll have plenty of extra breadcrumbs, it's fine. Spread out the chicken. If you have spots like this that don't have breadcrumbs, just get it covered. Make sure they're not overlapping. It should look like this. Put this in the oven for 15 minutes. And while it's in the oven, grab a jar of marinara sauce, some shredded mozzarella, and I also like to add Parmesan. Okay, it's been 15 minutes. We're gonna take the chicken out of the oven. Open your jar of sauce. We're then going to cover each piece of chicken with sauce just by using a few spoonfuls on each. Okay, so it looks something like this. Then you sprinkle shredded mozzarella on top of each piece. Like that. My boyfriend loves cheese, so I went heavy-handed on a few pieces for him. Then I'm sprinkling some Parmesan on top as well. Parmesan is just the superior cheese. I'm not gonna fight you on this. This goes back in the oven for another 15 minutes. Okay, let's see how it's looking. Ooh, delicious. Whole venture took less than an hour and I still have no pots to clean. Look at how beautiful she is. Taste test. That's really good, actually. Like better than last time I made it.
Hey, big girl. If you're a big girl on a weight loss journey, big girl meals like this are gonna be what helps you sustain your weight loss. Let me show you. Chicken breast. When I started my weight loss journey, I literally saw content creators who ate portions that were like so small, and I thought I had to eat so little to lose weight, and that was just not true. What I had to do was figure out how to make big meals with big portions at low calories. This is the game-changing, high volume, low calorie chicken chili. I believe that most people don't like one pot meals because they don't actually season the chicken or whatever protein they're putting in. They just season like the water or the broth. So we're gonna start with, and I'm making a big batch because my mom and dad are coming to town. They get to see my house for the first time. So I'm starting with 3 big boy chicken breasts. Big girl chicken breasts? I don't know, but they're big ones. So take a chicken breast and I'm just gonna cube these into 1-inch cubes. When I first started my weight loss journey, I followed content creators who created recipes for smaller bodies. And that's okay. Everyone has their own thing, but I needed to follow creators who made big portion meals so I could understand how to feed myself when I was trying to lose my first 100 pounds. Feeling hungry, feeling that like pit in your stomach, that's not normal, but I thought it was because I was eating so little. You can eat bowls of this and stay in your calorie deficit. And that's what I love about this recipe. So, big little chunkies. Okay, this is what it looks like. All right, now let's season. Garlic powder. And do a generous like seasoning because even though there's gonna be other things in this, you want that chicken to taste good in the chili. Onion powder. Paprika. I have to have color on my chicken. Otherwise, I'm not doing it. It is smelling so good already. Okay, and then because we just moved in, I don't have salt and pepper shakers yet. So we're gonna do a little sprinkle dinkle from here. And, oh, if you like spicy, jalapeno powder is really good in this. But my dad is like, I don't like spicy. So we're gonna keep it mild today. Mix it all together. And make sure you're washing your hands between, you know these things. Oh, also, like, one thing I learned at the beginning of my weight loss journey is I can out-eat any man. Any man. I don't know why I thought that, like, men should eat certain things on their diet and women should eat. No, I think that's just because of TikTok. If you really look at content creators and what they're creating, like women and men creators, like they just eat so differently. Like everything is so dainty and like, women want burgers, they want steak, they want chicken, they want meat, they want potatoes. Like, hello. Okay, so I did a little mixy and I think it needs a little more seasoning, so I'm gonna go ahead and add that. If you have an Instant Pot, do that in this, but I need the big boy pot because we're moving on. So, into your pot, chicken. Okay, then move this hefty thing out of the way so I can show you the rest of the ingredients. Look at all my friends. Okay, if you are making a big batch like me, 2 cans of each. 2 cans of pork and beans, diced tomatoes, kidney beans, black beans, corn. Try to shoot for the no salt added if you can, because then that brings the sodium down in the overall recipe, which is great. If you're just making a smaller batch, 1 can of each. Now, benefits to making a huge batch of this all at once is this is fantastic for meal prep. You can freeze a part of it. You can make individual servings for throughout the week, lunches or dinners. You can top it on, you can top it a bunch of different ways to like change it up. Also, you can change the protein. So I use chicken breast. You can use ground chicken. You can use ground turkey. You can use lean ground beef. I mean, literally, you can do whatever. A little bit of oil so that my chicken doesn't stick once it starts cooking. Use Sprite oil, so it's 0 calories. All right, and then you just dump it to crumpet. So 2 cans of black beans with the juice. 2 cans of corn, juice and all. Customizable, same with the beans. If you don't like the beans I'm using, as I pour in 2 cans of kidney beans, you can use something else. There's northern beans, pinto beans, just use what you prefer. Good. 2 cans of pork and beans, and get the ones in the tomato sauce. Oh, this smells so good already, and we're not even there yet. 2 cans of diced tomatoes. I'm not the biggest fan of diced tomatoes, but it's really good in this recipe. So you can either just choose to do 1 can or no can. It's totally up to you, but you might like it. And for a little razzle dazzle, throw in some mild chopped green chilies. You can find these like in your taco section. This just, it adds a really good flavor to it. You know me, eat what you want, add what you need. I am always gonna find a way to sneak in more veggies. So I'm gonna move this behemoth. This could be an arm workout, just lifting this thing up and down over here. And I'm gonna chop a onion and a green pepper. Okay, new board, new knife. You can chop your pepper however you want. However, my Hispanic grandma, she always did big chops of green pepper in her soups. And that's how I like it. Like I want a big piece of pepper when I go to bite into it. If you haven't done it that way, it's really good. So I'm talking like you can see that pepper in there. Throw that in. And if I was making this for myself without my parents or my boyfriend, who sometimes thinks I add in weird vegetables, I would actually also add squash and zucchini to this. I just think it's such a good like stew that you could really put in whatever you want. Not gonna chop them as big because I don't want them to overpower like every bite. Also, so many of you get so stressed when I cut my veggies, which is so funny because I swear I'm a very safe cutter, except for today when I was slicing a box and I got my finger. So I'm gonna try and do better, not just for myself, but for you all. Because y'all were so stressed. It's all right there. All right, chop this up. Oh, and let's talk toppings. This recipe, as is, delicious. If you want to add a nice healthy fat, it's really good if you top it with some avocado. You could do it with a side of cornbread if you need like a little carb. You could do it with some chips if you need a little crunch. Give you a sneak preview. Look at that. That is a lot of chicken chili. Actually, if all of y'all, every single one of you want to just come over, I'll have a bowl for you. I will. And I will top your roll also with either low-fat sour cream or a high-protein Greek yogurt option. I mean, literally. Okay, and then once you have everything in there, you're gonna put in a packet of taco seasoning. Again, try and go for the reduced sodium option. This is what's gonna help season your chicken chili on top of the seasoning we already did on the meat. I'm just gonna pour that in there. And you don't have to like mix this with water or anything because you have a lot of liquid in there from all the veggies and the beans and the chicken. It's just such a good recipe. So yeah, you should give this one a try. So yeah, big girl on a weight loss journey, you need a big meal that's gonna help you feel full and satisfied and give you everything you need. This is it. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Oh, also, anytime I feed my mom anything, she'll take a bite and be like, so good. So if she does that, you know it's good and I'm not lying. So good.
Bread is up to $5 in Canada, so we're making bread. It takes like a minute to make the dough. You don't have to knead. You put it on the counter overnight and then you bake it the next day. It's the easiest bread I've ever made. You need 3 cups of flour, a teaspoon and 3/4 of salt, and half a teaspoon yeast. Then just stir it to combine it all. Add a 1.5 cups of room temperature water. Room temperature, you can leave it on the counter if you want, but it's just like slightly a little bit warm when you put your finger in it. And then mix it together till it's mixed. Sometimes I use my hand just to make sure it's all like combined, but it mixes in like 30 seconds. This is what it's gonna look like. It's like slightly bouncy. Just a side note, stick your spoon in hot water because if you let dry flour in water, it's really, really hard to get off. Okay, now cover and leave for 12 to 18 hours. Good morning. I was going to do a transition, but anyway, it's been like 16 hours, so now we're going to cook it. Grab your dough and set your oven to 450 Fahrenheit. So what you cook it in will determine what kind of bread it is. If you want it crunchy, like a baguette, you can cook it on a sheet pan and spread it into baguette shape. You can put it in like any pan you have. It'll just end up crunchy and kind of hard like a baguette. If you want your bread to be softer, you just need something covered. So you can use a Dutch oven. They're awesome, but they're very expensive. You can use a casserole dish. You can use a roasting pan if you want. Anything that's covered, that's oven safe, just so that the steam circulates while it's cooking. If you're using a Dutch oven or any kind of heavy pottery, stick it in the oven when you start preheating because they take a while to heat up. But if you're using glass or ceramic, they conduct heat really well, so you don't need to do that. Okay, after that very long pot explanation, take your dough. It's gonna have grown to like twice the size, and then take it and you're gonna want to spread like a little bit of flour on the top and then kind of pat that onto the bottom just to prevent it from sticking to the pan. You just need it like slightly floury so it doesn't like stick. Make it into whatever shape you want and then stick it in your pan. Bake for 30 minutes covered and then 15 minutes uncovered.
I saw some girl do this on TikTok a while ago and I became so obsessed with it that people make fun of me for it. But this is what I mean by portions of soup. 1/4 cube of chicken bouillon, a dollop of miso. Oh man, I made a mess. Some soy sauce, sesame oil, an absolutely heaping teaspoon of ginger. This is a bundle of rice noodles. I get mine from like the closest Asian market near me. They usually fit perfectly. I put some frozen vegetables in it. Change it up every once in a while. I am a slut for a rotisserie chicken. I just pick off pieces and load it up in here. I love rotisserie chicken. Then I just pop a lid on it, put it in the fridge, and that's how I meal prep. I always take this to work. It's so easy to bring to and from. But when you're ready to eat it, just put some water in it, close the lid, give it a good shake. Take the top off, because we don't put metal in the microwave, for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Soup. This is what I mean by a portion of soup.
Guys, do you want to know something that's actually kind of sad? I used to make Made by Melissa's Green Goddess salad at least once a month, but then I made it for you guys and the video went a little bit viral and I haven't made it since. It's been almost half a year. Let's make it. We'll start by building the base, which is cabbage and my favorite, cucumber. I'm gonna add jalapeno to the base as well. Use about 1/3 of this cabbage. It's kind of large. Save you for later. You want it as small as you can get it. Spoon in, and then chop them the other way. We have volleyball tonight, as you guys know, so I'm gonna bake those cookies, and then I'm gonna get the reviews from my team members. They don't know this yet, but they will. I hope I get a 10. Everyone defending Quinn's 9 out of 10 on the cookies in the last video. I appreciate you. But I will say I put too much sea salt on top. So the cookies didn't need quite as much salt. Lesson learned. Tonight they'll be better. Okay, we need a bowl. This bowl comes with a lid to put my green goddess salad in there so I can be like, done. In. Mostly. Whoops. Chop 1 cucumber up, tiny, tiny. You can also use those tiny, crispy cucumbers. I actually like them better, but I didn't have any. In. Mostly. Oops. And then the last piece of the base is the jalapeno. That actually seems like very little. Let's do a Nova. In. She's perfect. Perfect. I need some sauce. For the dressing, 1 shallot. In. 2 cloves of garlic. In. 1/3 cup of chives. In. A few roasted cashews or walnuts or tofu if you don't have nuts, or just leave it out, doesn't really matter. Or add avocado. This just makes it creamy. A butt ton of fresh basil, like 1 full cup. My favorite. In. Did I say that I meant a cup by a butt ton? I can't remember, but 1 cup of basil. Really, you want 1 full cup of fresh baby spinach, but I don't have a full cup. But whatever you got, in. Nucci. You need 1/3 cup. This is nutritional yeast, by the way. Nucci's just a fun way to say it. Gives it like a nice, deep, cheesy flavor. Salty, cheesy. It's yummy. The juice of 2 lemons. I'm gonna go right in. People are really not enjoying the in. I thought we all liked it. In. It brings me joy and keeps my mind focused, if I'm honest. In. A 1/4 cup of olive oil. In. 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. In. I like vinegar though. Bit of salt, like a teaspoon maybe. In. That's it. Blend. Give it a taste to see if it needs anything. It's perfect. Perfect. Nailed it. Now you just pour it over and eat it all week long. In. Give it a mix. See? Stunning. And probably the best part, you eat it with the blue chips, so when it looks pretty, it just tastes better. It's science. You're welcome.